Common problem with hybrids. My slide pins don't move on the fucking thing. How many times have I talked about that and people have dismissed me? That, oh, we don't need to put brakes on our hybrid or electric car. They just last fucking forever because it don't use them. Yeah, they might last a little longer. That one's thinner. Nothing wrong with any of that. Nothing wrong with anything. This one has been serviced routinely. Just proof is in the pudding. That's not terribly seized, but I'm going to have to work that bastard. There it goes. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a neighborly day for a beauty. Won't you be, could you be, won't you be my neighbors, folks? Wild Man Willie here on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. It is nice and cool instead of roasting hot with some overcast clouds. And today we're back on the taxi cab, gonna put pads and rotors on the front and pads on the rear. Got my incense stick, already smudged this thing to keep it happy in all the spirits. As you may have remembered, I paused on this once before because of this here warning sticker. I went and talked to a Toyota technician in person, and he advised me all I really needed to do to service this is to disconnect the 12-volt battery from the car so it cannot sense what the hell is going on with its brakes, and to be prepared to bleed the system if necessary. None of that's terribly terrifying. Looking at it, yepper, that's Toyota brakes. It's pretty interesting. Very high mileage on this car from taxi service, but it's a relatively new model. So, what we got to go back on this is my Bendix Priority 1. You know my favorites at the moment. These have been crowd pleaser brake pads right here. So that's for the front. Rotors wise, I've been doing the electrophoretic a lot. But for this one, these will not last long enough to corrode in this environment due to the mileage this vehicle will receive. I think we're at over a lunar distance with this car already, well over 200,000. So this is a quality one with some corrosion protection, but I don't need the full 9 yards for this one, as like I say, hell, you give these a year and a half, they'll have 100,000 miles on them, and off the car they come. So that's my DuraGo Titanium, which, good stuff, especially for the money. So, now all we gotta do is clean this up, knock them off, slap them on rawhide, let's get it done. Common problem with hybrids. My slide pins don't move on the fucking thing. How many times have I talked about that and people have dismissed me? That, oh, we don't need to put brakes on our hybrid or electric car. They just last fucking forever because it don't use them. Yeah, they might last a little longer. That one's thinner. Nothing wrong with any of that. Nothing wrong with anything. This one has been serviced routinely. Just proof is in the pudding. That's not terribly seized, but I'm going to have to work that bastard. There it goes. So, reasons why you should lubricate your slide pins on these vehicles. Take the brake pads down and just replace the damn things while you're in there, even if they look fat still, whatever. Cheap maintenance, folks. We're talking $30 a box of pads, and the right ones will come with the grease pack, and then you don't have to worry about this. Anyway, all good here. Just a premium example of not stuck, not dead, but just ain't been moving. So they were a little pissy. We're going to get them out and clean them real nice and make it right. In with the good. As you can see here, I went ahead and put my wear indicator squealer on the new pad where necessary. We're going to do the other one too, as it looks like they put one on both. I've got my rotor installed. I've got my bracket cleaned up, greased up, moving, and installed nice and tight. So that's the way that's supposed to look. Folks, you too can make a top quality brake service in your driveway. But you know what? The best brake service in the world is done right here in this dirt, under these trees in Eugene, Oregon. Anyhow, not much to this one. Very simple to work with so far. We're going to clean the caliper itself up a little bit and get this together. Prime it up, see what we got. Alright, it's taken a little while today without easy access to air at the location for my cleanup wheel, but I managed to do it by hand mostly, and what we got here is a very nice looking caliper and bracket, very nice looking Bendix copper free ceramic pads, got our DuraGo Titanium Rotor on here, looking great, everything pumped up and primed just fine. We'll see if we have any hiccups with that system, but no matter what, we're going to make sure that the actual brake work I've been hired to do is done correctly and as well as possible. So that's beautiful right there, the art of brakes. Let's rinse and repeat on the other corner, give it a little test drive, see what we got. Well, I got the passenger side good and happy. I've taken the wheel down on the driver's side and brushed things off a little bit already. Just grubby, used up, glassy ass rotor. Yep, I expect this one to be all happy when we're done. So not much to it. We're going to hit our two 14mm bolts in the back of this caliper to remove the caliper and set it on this stand out of the way, being careful not to screw up our brake hose here. We got two 17mm bolts on the back side of the bracket. We're going to remove them. After we're done that, I got these handy grade 8 bolts right here. They're just perfect, but you can use random shit that you got that works. And you put them in them holes and you turn them until you pop your rotor off the face without having to hammer and beat on it and stuff. So that's a handy little trick for you. Nothing to it but to do it. Get it all as clean as you possibly can, paying special attention to the area in the caliper brackets where the hardware clips meet. You want that to be clean as a whistle before you put them back in, because if you have any lumps, burrs, deformations, anything like that, it'll make them sit off and make this too tight. Everything seems pretty damn good here. We just got to pull it down, change it out, clean it up. Woo! Sun's out again now. There's both front sides done and looking happy and nice, and we got good firm pedal before reinstalling the battery and cranking it up. So I imagine everything's going to go quite nice for us. Folks, there's nothing wrong with these rotors, but I will note that that anti-corrosion coating is not compatible with brake cleaner. So in the future, we are going to use the Black Series. I'm just done with less expensive stuff. Again, nothing wrong with this. We have excellent everything about it. It's a good rotor. $5 more, folks. Again, I'd much rather have this than smell shit ass, though. All day. This is a good. I'm just going to do best from now on. That being said, Bendix, girlfriend brand car pads in there. Got our nice rotor all together. Got our slide pins cleaned, lubricated, greased. Everything is marked, tight to specification. Brake cap is on. So let's put the wheel back on this and take it for a little test drive around the neighborhood. See what the hell we got. After reciting the correct incantations and waving my magic wand in the correct arcane directions, we have successfully retracted the parking brake assembly on this electronically. Heard that wind back for like 12 seconds. I have de-energized the 12-volt system of the car so that the computer doesn't know what I'm doing from this point on. Also, I'm pleased to note this looks exactly like the ones I had to manually retract on a Nissan Langley, so if this does give me shit, I know what to do with its ass. Anyway, pads are thin back here, which I'll blame a little bit of that on me. It took me a minute to do the research to determine this. Nah, it's just time to do them. Thin enough. These cars eat through them. I'm its first non-dealership service on this sort of thing, so I'm proving my merit and doing the best job possible. So that I got me a taxi contract here in Eugene. Wouldn't that be fucking awesome? Hell yeah, it sure would be, at least for the brakes. Anyway, for the rear, we have opted to leave these rotors. We could have changed them. I've seen better. But there's not a gigantic ridge and no shaking was reported. So a set of pads will restore stopping ability to this car. And what we got for that is our Bendix Priority 1 ceramic. Ultra premium. Got my hardware. Got my hotel golf friction coefficient. Happy, joy. Shouldn't take terribly long to do it on this set. I may take that bracket down just to say I cleaned it. I probably won't. We'll see. We'll see what I do. It's making great progress this time. Cleaned up my caliper bracket the way I like. Got my new hardware installed and got my new Bendix brake pads installed to that. Got the caliper remounted to the bracket remounted to the knuckle, and I got my slide pins lubricated, clean, polished, looking great. So up next is for me to clean up this caliper a little bit, push in her piston, and then install it on the car. Moving fast, getting it done. Corner number 3 is now proudly installed on this Camry Hybrid. As you can see, I've marked the pads WJ 7 to 24. I need another paint pen. All I got's black. I have cleaned this up, is how I feel. Them rotors will work. Them pads is badass. Everything about that's moving correctly, cleaned up, ready to rock. Fit for a racetrack. Okay, that was easy to do. One more to go, and then I can call this a work day. Folks, this one's a taxi cab, so yeah, it's got to be absolutely freaking perfect. I'm gonna do this like lives and livelihood is on the line. Not that I don't on every fucking brake job, but you know, 400,000 mile car. You think how nice are you gonna do it? I'm gonna do it as best of my absolute fucking ability on a car like this. Anyhow, I'll be done with the last one in a minute. Here we are, ready to explore corner number 4. Pretty simple process here, folks. We got two 14mm bolts on this caliper bracket that holds this caliper to this bracket. You should have de-energized your parking brake according to the kabuki dance. You should have your battery disconnected so that the hydraulic shit doesn't flip out from the computer. Look that up, and I might include some stills for that. We'll do something in post about that. But up next, zap, zap, off with them. Then for me, because I'm going to clean it up that good, zap, zap, off with the 17mm that hold the bracket to the knuckle. It's going to be much better access to clean this the way I want to. We're going to make this look as close to a brand new car as we possibly can, given the situation. Make it stop correctly, smooth and quiet, smooth and quiet. Only the best work I can do, only the finest brake work is done at Jenkins Performance under the shade tree, folks. Ow, don't that look better? Got that all shined up like a new nickel. Everything is installed and has been serviced correctly. Slide pins are moving like they should, even though they were stuck as fuck before. Got new big fat thick girlfriend pads on it. HG Hotel Golf friction coefficient on these rears. Little tiny stuff coming off, nice good ones coming on. These are excellent shims on these pads. I've serviced this well. I've cleaned up the mating part of the bracket. I've cleaned up the front part of the piston. I've got the piston foreskin back on there the way it's supposed to be with no pocket. Every bit of the hardware has been cleaned up. The brake job has been done correctly. Let's see, did I piss off the computer? Don't think I did. Did the kabuki dance right? But we're about to find out all about it. Let's put the wheel on it. Let's reconnect the battery. Let's go for a test drive. Woo, it's warm out here, Wild Man Willie. Thankful to say that we got the Camry Hybrid Taxi 2020. All the brakes are ready to rock. This car is ready to hit the mean streets of Eugene. It's got all the brake pedal there is. I got one hang tag on the mirror, and I got one hang tag on the keys to let them know to take it easy on this nice new brake set for the first 125 miles. So folks, that service is much like a Camry of any other type. However, there's several steps in between to make the computer system and electronics happy, to not get it all pissed off at you. So a little more involved than usual. Then when we factor in 400,000 miles on this car, yeah, it's new. Things come apart like they should. They're just going to be hella dust on everything, you know? So we got it looking like brand new under there. I mean, you can see how clean I got that shit. Like it should look for a 2020 car. They can stop with confidence. I got no doubts whatsoever about the brake work that's been done. It's time for me to go turn this one in to Go Taxi. See about getting the contract for all the rest of them, as these are the nicer taxi cabs in town by far. This guy actually has brakes done, okay? And make sure things get done right. These cars look good, they're clean, they have new tires, they're non-smoking. It's not the trash you get from some of the other companies who will not be named. In any event, quality taxi cab right here, ready to rock. Let's go hand in the work and get the money. That's what it's all about. Have fun, everybody. I hope y'all had a great Sunday. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.